Hey, this is Sasha. Thanks for joining me in today's video. What I want to share with you today is how a $5 cup of coffee at, let's say, Starbucks can really kill your savings. Stay tuned. I'm going to share with you this insight in this video. All right, so if you go ahead and purchase a cup of coffee, you go to a restaurant every single day, maybe you go ahead to Starbucks and you're purchasing, $4 every day before work, or just every single day, or even multiple times a day, you probably are, number one, addicted, but number two, wasting and killing your savings. But it, of course, depends on where you are on the income bracket. So here's what I want to share with you here regarding this concept and what to think about. It's not that you can't go ahead and spend money on coffees, lattes, or other good necessities. After all, that's what money is for. It's to enjoy life, to make more of the good memories, the good moments in life. But you also have to think about your relationship on how you're spending it. So here's what I want to share with you. Here's some basic things. What is worth? What is a $5 cup of coffee worth? So let's say the average time, here's some basic statistics for you, is 3 to 5 minutes. Really, it's 4.44, they say, through a drive-through. The drive time takes you about 6 minutes there, 6 minutes back. And if you're on your way to work, then you kind of have to go part of the way. Anyway, average spend is $3.43 to $4.43. Annually, you're looking at about $1,221, they say. And some statistics say here $6,105. That's kind of what you're looking at. For me, if you're looking at a grande, you're looking at $1,459 or $7,295. I did my own calculations. Let's say it's $4 a cup of coffee, because that's your average. So you're looking at $1,460 at 365 days a year, or $7,300. So, okay, so that's really the numbers that we're interested in. If you're looking to spend around $1,400 on coffee every single year, you have to look at it in terms of your percentage of income. And that's what people don't get, is if you're looking and you're making around $25,000 a year, that $1,460 isn't going to hit you too badly, right? You're going to be spending about 5.84% of your total income. Okay, if you're making $10,000 a year, though, $1,460 is going to hit you about 14.6%. So think about it. You may be wondering, why am I using these figures? Well, if I really look at kind of some statistics here, percent of people living under $20,000 a year, this is from statistics here, statista.com. And you look at about 25,000 and under per year, you've got about 19% of the people or population in the U.S. households. 19%, that's quite a bit. About 1/5 of the population living under 25 grand a year. So, and think about how many people go ahead and buy Starbucks or spend a bunch of money. Now, I'm not saying it's just about Starbucks. It's just about anything that you're doing on a consistent basis where you're spending a large degree or percentage of your income that's, taking away from your savings potential, from really taking away from your nest egg. And if you're looking at, hey, if you're making $125,000 a year, that $1,460 is still the same price. They're not going to charge you more for a cup of coffee just because you make more money. It's not based on a percentage of what you're worth or what your annual income is. Kind of like a real estate agent where they charge you a percentage of the house value. So here you're only looking at 1.16%, where it's putting a tiny dent in your income, and that's going every day. So, that's very a habitual kind of thing where you're actually going every day. If you're going half of that time, well, maybe your spend is $700, and here the same thing, $700, well, that could be reduced to 7%. But the point being is that if you are, number one, spending a lot on frequency, number two, spending a high degree of that, instead of making it yourself, you're actually going in and buying it, that could really dent your savings in a big way. And my point is not to go ahead and not enjoy things. So the big picture idea here is money should be spent on some pleasure. You do need some income on pleasure. It's not just about, hey, save, because we're talking here on a money channel, but watch your percentage of use. So if you've only got $10,000 of income coming in, you may not want to spend 10% of it or more on something as simple as a cup of coffee, because you could probably go ahead and have other alternatives. And you may need to do that much more when you're at a lower income level. Remember, you can only cut so much out of savings. If you're earning, let's say, $10,000 a year, well, let's say you're only spending $10,000 a year. There's only so much you can cut out of that. Besides that, you have to pay for taxes, you got to pay insurance, housing, that kind of thing. There's only so much you can cut. But if you're going in and you got $100,000 of income and possible spend, there's a lot more you can cut because, well, you're probably spending a lot more, so you could probably cut a lot more. But remember that earning power can be unlimited. So initially you do need to make some cuts and probably some habitual changes if you're watching this video, but earnings power can be unlimited. So you can really grow your earnings quite a bit substantially because, hey, you could continue to skyrocket your earnings. You can make $20 million a year, $100 million a year. Not necessarily that it's going to happen for everybody, but the point being is that you could increase your earnings and that could put less of a burden on your spend. But the point is that you can only cut so much, and you need to enjoy some things in life and have some sort of pleasure, because if you don't have some sort of pleasure, then what's the point of saving all this money anyway? So think about your savings, think about what is it that money can do for you, because that's the point, is to go ahead and use it and spend it on the things that you enjoy, but do it in moderation, so that way you could still not only live a good life now and live a pleasurable life, but also live a pleasurable life later down the road with some savings. Because once you're maybe out of work, maybe you have kids, all of that takes away from your maybe job or focus, and maybe you get hurt in a bad accident, and now you need to work a little bit off of your savings to live your life or to keep the same kind of quality of life as you had in the past. So thank you so much for joining me. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, check out some other great videos, or go ahead and get some of the freebies that we have on our website by clicking the link right over here. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.